SMS. So number one, everyone raise your hand, say, or put in the chat, are you using SMS through a CRM or are you only using it on your phone? And that just means texting. Anyone? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Phone. Okay. So, okay. SMS. Cool. All right. Excellent. Okay. The rules have gotten really strict. So here's what you can use. You can use it for reminders, you can use it for check-ins, you can use it for offers, you can do a remote phone system, you can do forwarding, you can do a lot of things through it. Okay. In high level, probably on others, but this is the one I recently did, is that there's a couple quirks that you have to have in place or they will reject you. Because this is, again, you have to be approved to be able to use this feature. So they have to, in your general business settings, it has to match identical to your address for your EIN. So wherever you set up your EIN number, whatever address you put in there, however you put your name, it has got to match identical. Because what they do is when you apply for this A2P, whatever it's called, somebody is physically going to your website to click on the link you provide to show that you have all the right things and that all of your information matches. This is not an AI thing. It's not, oh, they won't notice. It is a person that is giving approval. They take it really seriously. And so if you spend and you pay every time you apply, okay? So you go, you pay for, you pick out a number, and then you start the application process. And there's a lot of things that are involved. Again, which is why I offered the done for you, because I've already done it and I know how to do it. But so you have to have the matching information identical. So if you don't have that, you need to find that before you can apply, because it's got to match. Okay. So like I did it for I have a co-brand that I have a candy store at. She had the wrong address on her LLC. So we had to go find that in order to get her approved. Okay. You have to have a checkbox saying, yes, I agree to be marketed to, with a stop and the yes, no, and all of the correct verbiage. So what they'll do when you apply, you're going to fill in all these things. What happens when this happens? What happens when this happens? So on and so forth. And you're going to submit that. They're going to go check all of those. I have an open dispo and use text for one campaign, but cancel because I paid for 1 year, never used it. Okay, got you. I mean, it depends what you want to use it for. It's a nice feature to have, and it's better than your phone, because what if you get in trouble on your phone? But a lot of people use it. In retail, we use it in like, hey, because guess what? Deliverability. Email, your deliverability, you're lucky if it's 20% hit the inbox. This is due to the new rules and the laws about that. Text is about 90-something%. So if you want people to see it, you spend the money and you do it. Okay. If it's about, so I had this problem for a while when they changed the rules about email sending. I had a really high reputation. By the way, Google Postmaster will tell you what your domain reputation is for email sending. By the way, it'll give you the breakdown if you're on any list, like for spam, so on and so forth. But I had a really high reputation, which meant almost all the time I hit the inbox. And then Google made all these changes. I switched providers, and we switched, then I went back. And because of all those changes, all of a sudden I went from 100% to a low percent. So now I had to spend months and months and months rebuilding, because what happens when your reputation goes down is that you don't hit the inbox, even if they requested. Like, I don't always hit my own inbox, and it's me, and Google knows it's me. But sometimes I'm in spam, sometimes I'm in promotion. So this is important for deliverability. And that's why, again, people go to SMS, because then that's a little bit more deliverability, right? And almost everybody sees it. But that's just something to think about with email. Email can, again, that's another rabbit hole. You could be down in the weeds forever in email. You just, at the very least, you want to have something set up with a branded domain that you can send to and from. So as for SMS, you have to also have a privacy policy. what are you going to do with their data? You have to have a terms policy. Now, there are generators online that will do that, but you want to make sure that it matches your business. You want to make sure they have a way to reach you. You want to make sure they will not approve you if you don't have all of those things. So those are all things to keep in mind if you wanted to sign up. I have friends with me, help warm up. Yes. Even if you send it back, it doesn't always matter. I respond to every one of mine. Still doesn't always hit the inbox, right? But again, I'm sending thousands and thousands, thousands. But here's what happened. So I had a 150,000 person list on my birthday club. We were sending to the most active 30, 60 days out. Okay. So, and we were sending about 50,000 every time, right? Because new people were coming in, some people were falling off in the active. Every once in a while, we would re-engage. Well, all of a sudden, with all these rules and deliverability, we went from 50,000 to 20,000 to 10,000 to 5,000 for active. Not because it wasn't a good email, not because I wasn't making offers, but because they never saw the email. They can't open it, they can't click on it if they never see it. So all of a sudden, within a month, I went from sending to 50,000 based on the active in the last 30 or 60 days to 10. And there's not really a way to fix that other than now you got to spend a lot of time, money, and energy to re-engage. You've already paid to get them on your list. You want to be communicating with them. Kevin Cho talked about that at the class about how he had a big list, but he never talked to them. Right now, if he had talked to them all along, he would have probably been in their inbox and they would have seen his offer. So he had to get on the phone for a lot of people. Right. So this is just a way to do that. But that's why email and SMS matters. It's because, you could have the most amazing offer, free house, just pay me $1. But if nobody ever sees it, nobody's ever going to click it. Nobody's ever going to take the offer. And now you don't know if it's your offer or if it's deliverability. Right. Because it gets there. There's also spam levels. If somebody says you're spam, they'll shut you down for the day. There's a lot of things in there, and they're really trying to protect people for SMS and for cold calling and all those kind of things. So that is the gist of. We're at 2 o'clock. Okay, cool. So any questions about any of this? I know it was we went around the block, but you can unmute, ask any questions you have about, and I could stop the share. I think that was everything I had there. So I know it's again, it's a lot of gobbledygook, right? Yeah, we use email. Yeah. We have a domain. Yeah. But to make them all work together and you could have just one piece missing, and that's the difference between making $1 million and no dollars. So anybody have questions? Mondo, you're good? Everybody? Do you understand at least a little bit better about how what the building blocks are? Because this is your marketing engine. Pace is talking about your social being your carbon copy, right? And your drone that goes out there. But if you have no way to collect a lead, if you have no way to talk to them, if you have no way to sell them something, what's the point? Right?
Yep.
And all of these can help you to do that. High level or low level. Doesn't have to be complicated. Yay. Okay, good. The next one, I think we're going to do a landing page. So I'm not going to get into that just because I don't want to muddy the water, but understand that if you ever want to have a landing page, you have to have a website. You have to be able to communicate with people, right? Because what's the point of a lead magnet if you can't email them and you can't deliver it, right? You want them on your list. I'm going to give you one other thing to think about, and that is I'm in a different mastermind, and it's all about tripwires and building newsletters. For the done for you, yes. So for the done for you, and I can put that link in there if you guys want. But I set up email, domain, landing page, because in order to get approved for the SMS, you have to have a landing page and your privacy and your terms and all that stuff. So we do all of that part, and then if you're ongoing or whatever, I'm going to do these classes, but then I can help you set up your funnel. I can share my funnel system and my workflow, and then you can just customize it, right? Then it's just a step, it's the easy button. It's just a step forward, right? Without having to learn everything from scratch. But so with the done for you, I'm not going to build all your websites and all that stuff. Raz and I were talking about how we could maybe help the community and do that kind of together. But I just thought, like, let's just get you an email, a text, and a way to collect addresses to build your list. Because, oh, this is the story. So I think it might have been HubSpot, but I'll use a different. Anyone ever heard of Newsette? So Newsette started in 2020. It was two ladies in New York City, and they were just doing a newsletter. Newsletter is a business all by itself. Okay. They started an email list, a newsletter, basically about the things they like. It was makeup and hair and things they found. Okay. Newsette. Newsette has 20 million subscribers in the last couple of years. The valuation of their newsletter, which is all digital, they also get affiliates and all that kind of stuff, is $200 million. They built a $200 million business by sending out emails. You're welcome, Nadine. So something to consider, right? Like you're building a business. Now, it might be a portfolio, it might be a lending, it might be, right, but you're building something that you want to be sellable, exitable, and transferable that has value without you. So you're building that. What we're talking about here is a foundational piece of having something that's stable without you, automations, processes, systems, but also as a side note, which is what kind of Pace was alluding to, or that man was talking about the lead magnet, is you're building a list. The list is valuable. So the reason that that newsette has that value at what it is because they have a list of people who buy makeup and hair stuff. Well, can we name some companies who might be interested in not only marketing to them, but buying that list? Ulta, Sephora, right? Whoever. But they also have, yes, awesome. They also have the ability, once you have a list, is you could collab. So in other words, like let's say Mondo and I are going to share. We both have buyers in whatever state. Well, we can each send each other's list. Doesn't cost us anything, and we give each other a cut. With all the affiliate stuff he's talking about, having a list will help. Okay. So this is why I think it's really important for us, wherever we are in business. Like I look around the room in Owners Club and I think, gosh, I am way behind real estate wise, right? But I've been running businesses, which real estate is a business. I'm not, right? You have a portfolio and it has a value long term. The business part is also its own value. And if you build a list, that also can be its own value, its own sellable thing, if that makes sense, and that you could use to generate money. So I think that was pretty much it. Anybody else have any other questions? I mean, hope this wasn't too basic, but I hope it helps you kind of see the bigger picture and why it's important to get this piece set up. The next call, if you figure out these things and get them all set up, the next call show you how I build a funnel, but a lot of them are very simple. They're drag and drop, and we're going to do a very basic. There's a saying that a confused mind never buys. So if you get somebody to come to your landing page like, hey, I have this free calculator. Hey, I have this. Hey, I have that. And they come, you don't want a lot of gobbledygook on there. You want name, email, the end. Sometimes just email. You want them to submit it. Now you have a way to talk to them. You could have a second page, right? But you want it to be very simple. So when we do it next time or tomorrow and we build that, you're going to see it's very, very basic. You just want it to kind of have the same verbiage of whatever whether you're using an ad, like I run Facebook ads. So I do some awareness ads. I do a lead magnet ad for like $5 a day. It's not a lot of money, but I get usually back a year ago when things were better, 100 a day I would get. 100 new people on my list a day for $5. You can't really argue about that, right? But you just have to make sure what the ad says kind of matches where they're going. Because otherwise, like if this is blue and you go over here and it's purple, you're like, wait a minute, am I in the right place? Right? You want that to kind of match. So we keep it very, very simple so that most people are going to opt in. As long as it is what you said it is, They're going to opt in and then you're going to deliver it. And now you have a new relationship to build. Does that make sense? Yay. Okay.
I
If
I just
anybody has
wanted
any
to say,
questions, go ahead. Go, go,
I
go.
just wanted I just wanted to say thank you so much because this is very complicated and you're good at the analogies and making it understandable and
Yeah,
digestible. Not everyone who can do the tech side can do the training side.
correct.
So just wanted to say thank you
Thank
for
you.
this opportunity and sharing and being so good at that part too, not just the tech side. That's a
Yeah, it's
skill. That's a special
it
skill.
is a skill set. It is. I mean, it's also because like I'm trying to break it down to the lowest, uh, simplest verbiage, right? Of this is what it is. Like at the end of the day, and when somebody shared that whole apartment building, it made sense. And I was like, oh, it's a real estate group. This is gonna be great. Because like now I understand how all these things work together, right? And just understanding that is helpful when you start to think about when people start talking about their website and this and that and the other and redirect and all that stuff. You're like, oh, so like a redirect is like I'm sending my mail to this house, but I'm redirecting it to this house. Oh, okay, I get that, right? Like that's all you're doing. And you're either doing that straight at the domain, or you can also do that in your domain settings in GoDaddy or Cloudflare or whatever. You can set that up so it automatically knows. Like anytime somebody types this, send them here, right?
Yeah, kind of
Easy
like
peasy. So thank you for saying that. That makes
yeah,
sense.
kind of like a owners club where the guy was like, I might not be the one writing the copy or doing all this stuff, but now I know what I'm looking for when somebody does do it. I know what I'm looking for to hire,
Hmm.
to ask them to do, to whatever. And so I'm kind of taking it in like that, where it's like,
Yeah,
now I know what to ask for. I know
right.
terminology, I know certain things.
Yep,
And so that's how I'm starting to view it is sure, I might play around in it just a little bit, but
right.
I know that it's not my area of expertise and I'll be hiring someone. So I'm looking at it from like when I hire them, I will understand what I'm asking them for.
Well, and they won't be able to snowball you. Like you are a competent buyer, right? Oh, I need you to set up this. I know you need to do this, this, and this, right? And you'll be able to tell whether they're full of baloney or not, right? Because you understand the basics. You don't have to know how to do all the little things, right? But if you understand the basics of all this and how they all work together and some of the laws about things, that makes you a smarter buyer, right? And then all the bells and whistles. Like I had this example once where like I had my restaurant and I was trying to build value and I had never turned on the loyalty program. Even though I did in my candy store, I just never thought to do it. And it was already a feature. I just had to turn it on. But all of a sudden now my business was more valuable and I knew more about my customers. Why? Because I just turned on this feature, right? But I didn't even think that it was there. I didn't look for it, didn't know I had it until I was looking for it. So that same kind of thing. It's like when you know, then you know. But I know that some of the people, I hired one of the copywriters to help rewrite my welcome series for my candy store. And she was saying that some of the owners were asking her, like they wanted to hire her, but they don't have an email like set up. So they're trying to buy the cart, but they don't even have the horse. Right? You have to have the vehicle to get it there before you can create the things. Does that make sense? So like she was like, "Can you help her?" I was like, "Yes, I can help her." So anyhow, well, I'm glad you all came. Thank you so much. I was worried I was going to talk to myself. I know
Thank
it's like
you.
super boring, but hopefully helpful, at least big picture.
Thank you.
You're
Very.
welcome.
Thank
And
you.
I think tomorrow we're doing the landing page again. Like when they explained it all, again, seeing it, I'll probably build one tomorrow just so you can see how easy it is. You're welcome.
Awesome.
Um, and that
And
way you
that's
can
at two,
see,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
That's an hour
and
later.
I think yes, because I have a different call. I have like
Okay.
calls. I put it at one, and then I was like, oh shoot, I got a call that time. I got a call that time, and then it was no one left behind. So that week I'm the rainmaker, so I'm doing that. Um, Anyway, and I have Christmas in like a week, so like I gotta start. But yeah, so we'll build a landing page because that's the biggest thing. Like I would love for all of you, whether or not you use me, doesn't matter to me. that I would like you to all be able to say, hey, I took a step forward and I have a place to collect emails and I have something to deliver. Even if it's just a calculator, even if it's a one-on-one, even if it's a book a call, right? It's a way to talk to people.
Thank
Which
you.
is important. And then you can build on that, but at least let's get you set up. Basics. And then the next one is, okay, let's collect some stuff, right? Even something to put, like Pace was saying, at the bottom of his YouTube video. Like, if you're interested in plop, right? There's the link. And make that consistent forever, right? And you're going to want to always leave that landing page up. So if somebody watches something in 10 years, they can go to that page and still get an email, right? That's kind of his point about that it's working forever. Perfect implement. Yes, exactly. Yep. I think it's the same link. You're welcome. I think, yeah, I did it all under one, so I would imagine it's the same. Zoom can be weird. So, but thank you guys. See you all
Thank
tomorrow.
you. See you tomorrow.
Thanks. Have a great one. Bye.
Appreciate you.
You got it.